rundown on how I do things. If you look, I got my gamble through the top, not through the bottom tendons, just because I've seen when you debone them, cut that tendon, the deer fall on the ground, your meat's all nasty. So first of all, hang my gamble up high. So it might not be for everybody, but that's the way I do. I try to always cut my hide loose around the legs. I usually just leave my legs on, that way I can slow it all away whenever I get done. If you're going to do this, I'll show you. I'll do it like I'm going to mount this deer. I'm not going to, but I'll do the hide like I'm going to. But I always start on the inside of the back. And you always cut up and under the hide. And that way it doesn't cut the hair loose. I cut the tarsals off this, and it's not something I always do, but this one stinks so bad. I didn't want no part of that close to my meat. And I used a different knife also to cut those loose. I used the one I gut with. It's nice and cold. I could let him hang today, but I like to skin mine just about as quick as I can get them to the house, just because it skins so much quicker and easier. You let one freeze on there and it's pretty tough to get off. Pick the hide up, stay on the inside, and just run up leg with the hair, never against the hair. Having hair on your meat is not very desirable. Just pull and cut between the hide and the fascia that holds it on there. It'll slide it off. When you get to the tail, you just find your vertebra, or whatever you want to call it, in there and just slice right in between them. It just pops right off. Use it for a handle. It's also easy if you got somebody to hold it so it doesn't swing around so much. Come back over here. All right, if you're going to mount a deer, you really want to stop right up here. See, your taxidermist has plenty of room. You don't want to slice all that down through there because that's just a lot of extra work. You got to sew up and all that. But if you cut on the back side of the legs, it'll be totally fine, and he'll be happy with you. Just stay on the very back side of the legs, same as I did up there on the slice under the hide. Stay up, but you just follow that all the way up to up here. As long as it's on the back side, that's never going to show. And it'll all be fine. Hold your hide up. There like that right there, and then go the other side. Same process. You see a lot of people start caping them out before they skin them. Those people are not eating it. I feel like they're going to get hair all over their hide whenever you split them in half and only take half the hide and leave the other half, because whenever you get the other off, you're going to get hair all over your meat. Trophy's a bonus. Meat's a plus. It's a must, not a plus, it's a must. Now, just take that and skin that right on out there, just like the rest of it. Try not to cut holes in it. Least amount of holes you put in there, the more your taxidermist has to work with, less he has to try to patch. The better your mount's gonna look. And if you're not gonna mount these things, you can sell these hides on eBay. The bigger the neck, the more they bring. Because there's a lot of people don't know how to flesh them or cape them out. Out of states, you gotta have them caped out to get them back in. And if you don't know how to do it, then you don't know how. But it's a little bit of time. You can usually work it out. Gloves are not a must, but I like to wear them because I don't like that blood drying on your hands. It gets sticky and hard to get off. Cold here this morning. Deer are moving good. I got him. Pull him up a little more. Right to untie him. That's over up there. We're making work on it. Good Lord. Old roping dummy. Tail a few. She's about on her last leg. I think it's only 40 years old. It's done pretty good. Before we get all the way down here, I'm going to show you some measurements to take for your taxidermist if you're out of state or something. That will help him. Go get the tape measure, be right back. Like I said, I should have done this before we got down here. You want to measure from the corner of his eye right there to the tip of his nose. Corner of his eye, tip of his nose, 7/8. And then you want to go right around the base of his neck, which, like I say, I weren't thinking about this part when we done this, but just go right under his jaw, spin it around, pull it fairly snug, don't cheat yourself. He's 19.5 at the base of his neck. That'll get you the size of the form you need, the 7/8 and 19.5. Don't try to. Also, if you're going to have to skull cap this thing, go from the tip of his right horn to the tip of his nose. It's 14.5. Then go to the other side. This one's very symmetrical. It's 14.5 both sides. So that'll give your taxidermist the measurements he needs to put this thing back together like you had it. Don't lie about that neck and say, oh, it's 19.5, but I'd like for him to be 23. It don't work out so good like that, okay? And skin this neck all the way down to the jaw on that deer. It gets tight down in here, I mean, but there's a lot of good neck roast right here on this. You get a buck like this and big old necks on them. Skin that thing all the way down. Get you some meat off of it. You kill him, you might as well eat him. That's the best part. Put that in the crock pot. Bullet. I know the Joker was quartered, but I didn't think he was quartered that bad. I shot him right there and came out in his neck. That's a 270, 140 grain Debone. Traveling from here to up in the neck. That's wild. He didn't go 20. He just fell. I can't believe it. He kicked around for a minute, but I can't believe he done that with that shot right there. Told Brody I passed up so many deer this year. I felt like after I shot him, maybe I shouldn't have shot him. Alright, that's as far down. That's on, I'm plumb down there to his jawbone on the back of his skull. So now I'm gonna take his head off. Here and find you a vertebra. Back of his skull. Detach his head. I think I got it cut loose. Now just a little twist. Maybe not got it cut in two all the way. For some reason I ain't getting it right. There you go. taxidermist also, you want to got your chest and your front legs. I'd leave them about half of the hide to make sure you've got enough, because he can cut off, but he can't add to. Like I say, make you find your line about halfway and get the cut. Again, go. Cut from the underside. Now starting to get a little. There you go, he's ready. May keep him out here in just a minute, show you another video. Jerk the hide off, the meat off this thing. I use a different blade for skinning and deboning. Get him down working height right there where you can get to him. I need to turn him around. Probably. Make sure your cooler's clean. You're gonna put this in. We just washed it out the other day. Had one in. But first thing I'll do is cut on the hip. There's a line right down through there. That's your bone. You just want to follow your bone around and cut that out. But see, right here's the reason I don't use that tendon, because when you cut, if you don't leave enough on there, that thing will fall off. But the way I did it, doesn't matter. You just take your knife and follow that bone all the way down to the spine. From the spine, follow it up, go around your pelvis. So just feel them bones right around them. Once you get it broke loose, pick it up, start removing your meat. You can break it off in pieces here if you want, or I always just do mine once I get it to a table or something. I'll just get it off the bone. Same thing on the other side. Find your line. Get the bone and stay with it. Watch yourself. And if you do this with a buddy, make sure it's a trusting buddy. You get two other people with knives. Going around on them, it gets kind of dangerous sometimes. Me and Dion used to take all those kids on the youth hunt. We'd have 4 or 5 of these things to do a day. And we're just trying to help each other out and get them done as fast as we could. See, look at that good looking meat, no hair. That's what you want. All right, now I'm gonna get my back straps. Here, you just make an incision to the spine. Follow the spine all the way down to the shoulder. Same thing on the other side. Follow it all the way down. Now you can take your finger and run underneath that and get some of that fat and fascia off before you ever get started. All that white right there, whenever you work it up, you're going to cut all that off anyway. You don't want that on your meat, it makes it tough. But right here, follow the ribs. I watched this guy on TikTok the other day called the Stale Cracker. He left this in, left those ribs hanging on there, made him some handles on them rib eyes. Look good. Just work your way down, easing and pulling. Main thing when you cook this is not cook it too much. Most people want to overcook it because it's wild, but there's no fat, so it doesn't require as much. About 4.5 minutes aside. That baby's right. Cut your sweet loins. Let's make you a little entrance. Get in there. there, just back them off. Or the bone. This is your fillet. Most tender piece of meat on the deer, I think. Whether I eat these deer or I give them away, I debone them all for somebody. Unless they just want to take them to a processor or something. Alright, I'm gonna cut the in here, get this neck roast off. That's bloodshot. We'll have to cut that out and leave it. Just follow your spine, your neck bone. George, get. When you get to the esophagus, you don't, of course, want that, so cut around that. Leave it hanging. Look at that big old neck roast. That shoulder there is pretty well toast, but we'll get what we can off of it. Anytime you got all that bloodshot stuff, you don't want that. That's probably gonna be about it on that shoulder right there. Pretty much demolished that. I'll get a little piece of this right here. I don't think so. He's butchered it pretty bad too. There's a little piece. Big old chunk of meat. That stuff, We grind a lot of it. Makes a really good burger. A little bit of Lowry seasoning salt. Throw her on the grill. Mixed him up pretty bad, but all we're gonna have left is the brisket here. Maybe. Chunk of meat. Well, I think that's gonna be everything. It's not bloodshot out. I usually don't do too much with the ribs. You can cut that off there, I guess, but I usually don't worry about it too awful much. But there you go. She's ready to process. Skin debone. Y'all have a good day. Franklin English Outdoors.